1, 2, 3. Greetings. I'm Tom. Who's this? Lady Bearica Andrews.
Hello! I was just reading Elsa Lancaster's herself.
And Lanchester.
Lanchester.
Yeah. This is what everyone says, though.
I am used to being embarrassed on film, so that's fine.
It's kind of your whole thing.
It's my whole thing.
Or live. You've also been embarrassed live many times.
Live. Lots. More live than on film.
And in case we forgot to say it, which I believe we did, this is your 15 minutes of FUME. I love that we have just begun and we are already like 3 degrees derailed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to be par for the course, especially now that Galen is stepping behind the camera a little more. And, hi Galen.
Hi Galen.
And we're going to have guests, and that means all new things, new jokes, new fumes, new shtick, new connections, new friends. New people for you to follow on social media.
Or unfollow.
And then rapidly unfollow.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the follow so that they get that serotonin boost when they see the notification.
It is much like that hand movement.
Yeah. And then you can quietly unfollow later, moments later.
They'll never know.
We don't look at numbers.
Unless they have that app that tells them who follows and unfollows. Which I do not, so just unfollow me.
I want that app, but part of me knows for my well-being I should not have it.
Don't do it. We shouldn't even be on Instagram.
The lab needs to be on Instagram because this is how we reach so many kind people who follow our perfumes and buy them and sometimes share photos of them, which we love.
Mm-hmm.
So, but personally, I would be better off, mentally if I did not know about any of this.
Now we're 5 degrees underground.
The reason we're here today is because recently, in case you haven't heard, we released our huge autumn/Halloween, quote, Every Day is Halloween perfume collection. And one of the standout series in this collection is called Freak in the Sheets. And it is a tribute to the stalwart Halloween attire, the classic sheet ghost. And we made perfumes that are variations on the sheet ghosts. And we created a fun photo, there's art for each one, beautiful photographs.
Most importantly, I am one of the models.
Lady Bearica Andrews, sheet ghost. Have you ever been a ghost before?
I think so.
Are you currently among the living?
Yeah. Questionable.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Do you have a quick ghost story?
Yes. One time I worked in an old movie theater and we did a talking board and talked to the old spirits that were there. And then they disrupted me when I was closing the theater one time and I ran out.
You can't see this, but off camera Galen has fainted. You were our traditional sheet ghost, and we had, every one of the ghosts was a different person. Galen was black satin sheet ghost. I would love to get a whole reunion going and do like a sniff thing, but that would be, considering the personalities involved, that would be complete madness. But we're going to sniff the perfumes and share our candid reactions and / descriptions of the experience. And then you will carry this information with you when you go to choose your own freak in the sheets persona. Are you more of a floral sheet ghost? Are you a paisley sheet ghost? Are you a layered paisley sheet under a black satin sheet? Who would do such a thing?
Whoa.
I could be talking about you, though. I guess we will start with the basic blank canvas.
It's me. I just love to do that thing that like YouTubers do.
Yes. Oh yeah, to like cover the light so it actually shows up. I thought it was fun to do this fashion photo shoot where everyone was like being fabulous, but then for the actual resulting photo, it was like no body parts are visible and it actually looks like a ghost in like an empty space, which I just thought, would be really adorable. Like it has a kind of like a classic look. It's like a ghost.
I'm in love with this photo, by the way. You did perfect.
I had to cram Bearica into an elevator with a sheet over her head, and then we programmed the elevator to go down and then back up so we could get that shot, which means in the meantime, if anyone else needed the elevator and pushed the button, they were going to get like a ghost delivered to them.
We shot this in my apartment building, and there was one tenant that did have to walk the stairs instead of use the elevator, and they passed us by. And what did you say to them?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
It was all blurred because it occurred over like the course of 10 minutes total. Every one of these photo shoot sessions was like 10 minutes because it was like
to the point.
We're on a shoestring. We're not.
Also, the ghost could disappear at any time.
Right. And we were using mostly natural light in the environments we were in, and that's a whole ordeal. The perfume for traditional sheet ghost is cool white cotton, marshmallow fluff, and lemony Oman frankincense. I've noticed like some frankincense, depending on the composition or the concentration, has like a kind of a lemony scent to it, or maybe like a eucalyptus, like it has some kind of extra thing. I know this from smelling Beepal. So I'm curious, do you want to... Here, I'll give you the bottle.
Okay.
And I'll take the cap, because you got the claws.
Everything is more beautiful with claws.
It's true.
This is my first set of tips.
The only reason I don't have them is because I have to repair my bicycle.
Oh.
So I've been cheating a little in wearing these, because of course, like, what am I going to not? This one I have worn quite a bit of.
This is nice and sweet.
It does have like a kind of a lemony shine to it, but there's like this marshmallow
it's
scent.
like almost like a lemon meringue.
Yes, yeah, like it's got but like there's also this clean laundry smell mixed in with it, so it's just like very kind of bright and flowy and soft and smooth. But then that frankincense kind of gives it a bit of elegance where it just seems like it's got hidden depth.
This is like a truly gender neutral scent too. I feel
very much. Yeah.
Like this ghost could have been anyone.
What I think is cool is it doesn't have like a sort of it doesn't smell like anything
you
else
put it
in
on?
particular. I did put a little bit on. Do you want me to give you a
forgot how
little
am I
drop?
supposed to do this?
Yeah.
Like just on one part. So I don't mix it with the others.
You can for science. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, what is the ghost backstory here? Like, it's actually not it's not a sorrowful scent. There's just something kind of like wispy and wistful about it. But it's like,
she just coexists with the people in that building.
Right.
She's not haunting. She's actually like lives in the elevator and helps them when they get stuck.
Helps them find the laundry room.
Yeah.
Do you have a laundry room?
We do.
In the basement?
It is in the basement.
Is it terrifying?
A little bit. There's also a weird door that I don't know if it's like an apartment or if like a groundskeeper lives there. There's no grounds on my property, but it's like just like a closet.
Have you had any dreams about the door?
No.
Maybe you will now.
I might. You know, the lemon pops out more on my skin.
It's like.
And I love that. One of my other favorite scents is Blood and Lemon from Beepal.
Oh,
remember that one?
Was it from the...
It was a limited edition, I believe.
Was it from the Singularity situation?
Maybe. It's another Drew Roush
yep, that's got to be
cover.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love this one.
It's just like pillowy soft and kind of like bright and shiny. And what I think is cool about it is a cheerful scent. Like the Sheet Ghost is not like a scary costume.
Yeah.
There's something kind of cheerful about it, even though as a kid, of course, like you could have scared me, like dressed up as literally anything. You know, like who's under there? There's like, and I think the frankincense really contributes to like this mysterious quality.
It's like easy and everyday.
Yeah,
that's what the scent feels like.
Completely, and it's not like a spooky scent that would like communicate. That's where we're gonna get with the black satin sheet.
I could also see myself wearing this in both fall and spring.
Well, the good news is this is your very own personal bottle that you get to keep. So you can have as much of it as you can drink. Just kidding, don't drink it.
My favorite pastime when I'm filming with you guys is to try to make Galen laugh. He's trying to keep it silent, but he's doing it.
And I haven't coached Galen to laugh to egg you on.
No, so. I know when it's real.
Right. Yeah, you've played Bushwick. You know when the audience is feeling it.
I've never played Bushwick.
No, Bushwick with the CK.
Oh, okay.
Right, but just in general, like tough crowds.
It's tough crowds,
and sometimes like non-existent.
Too
crowds.
Cool. Sometimes too cool.
I was there that one night.
Sometimes
when
just ghosts.
You and Ariel were there, and nobody had shown up really for the show. And then like it was like towards the end of the night, and two people wandered in to come see the drag show that used to be there.
Yes.
And they showed up for what they thought was that show, but it was YouTube. But the show had already ended, and then
they ended up giving us $40 for a number each.
Yeah, you each lip synced a number for an audience of like 3 people.
And we thought that was amazing because that was the first time either of us had gotten a $20 tip, probably.
Yeah, this is like their gentrification is terrible, but occasionally a drag queen will get a $20 tip. So Black Satin Sheet Ghost. This was Galen. Galen was Black Satin Sheet Ghost. It was a grueling photo shoot. It was outdoors by the LA River in the evening. The photo is spectacular.
Was it warm?
It was cool. That was the important thing, is to do it was cool, because that black satin sheet is not super breathable. You know what I mean? The perfume is glimmering lacquered black patchouli drenched in mate, clary sage, narcissus, and opium tar.
Whoa.
I know. I was intrigued by this because it's not like something I would ever normally wear. It doesn't really... It's a whole different palette.
That is way different.
It's like night and day. It's like, are you Jackie or Marilyn? You know?
Wait, who's Jackie in this case and who's Marilyn?
I mean, I guess like the blonde would have to be like the lemon.
But I think Marilyn was darker in soul.
Yeah. It's not a good analogy in this instance. What I will say too about this is that I did talk to Elizabeth, the perfumer, to ask if there was like a fabric component to each of these 5 scents, and she said there was. So it might not be as obvious in some as in others, but like there is like a sheet in the scent. There is a freak in the sheets, and there is a sheet.
I love this one, but it, like at first whiff,
yeah,
it's shocking.
It is shocking. It's like very dry. It has a crackle to it that almost reminds me of like static electricity. It kind of, it's like it's like, I think the combination of the patchouli and the mate, like it's like a tea situation, which it's super like dry, almost acrid.
I almost get like a dried like blood, like an irony.
Yeah, or like dried herbs, like like there's a kind of an interesting sharp like bitter quality.
She's been dead for a while.
And the sage, that's the thing too. Like I don't know how familiar you are with sage as like a smell, like with the herb, but there's something about it that's like really distinctive. And then on the skin, which I don't know if you have done yet. You want me to give you a little dab?
I only did the skin, I guess.
Oh, you went right in.
I guess I didn't smell it before.
You dove right into the deep pit of.
Well, no, I did smell it because it was like sharp on the nose when I smelled it off the skin.
It's after a scent that's so comforting and floofy, like the Marshmallow Ghost. This one is like completely devoid of compassion. On the skin, I can start to smell like the narcissus and the opium. Like it's actually a really opium-heavy scent as it kind of drifts along. Like that's kind of where it settles in the longevity of it. Is like the narcissus and opium. And
yeah, the floral is opening up as it sits.
It really is like a night blooming flower.
What is it? I guess I don't know what opium smells like, so
that was a really
might be the smell that I'm like trying to pinpoint.
I have to go back and smell opium perfumes from time to time to kind of remind myself, because I don't really wear them, and then every now and then I'll read about it and be like, oh yeah, what is that? And I'll go and like spend some time with the note, and it is almost like it's like an incensey kind of. Would you agree, Galen? You know, like
resinous.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
So we
almost
have
like dank. I don't know.
Dank.
A really kind of like dark, resinous, herbal, floral situation, and I don't get like a really strong patchouli. I was expecting the patchouli to kick me in the teeth here. The fact that it is glimmering and lacquered maybe makes me think that it is like kind of tempered, polished.
I wouldn't believe the first whiff without putting it on my skin. So like if you order it, put it on your skin. Don't trust just like smelling it. It's
true. Some of these are real shapeshifters, especially from in the bottle. I was really like, whereas the Sheet Ghost I really think stays the way on the skin the way it is in the bottle, and that's fascinating. And then this one in the bottle, you just get a whole different immediate blast.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
A+.
This is like you should be wearing an evening gown wearing this.
Yes, it's definitely more of a.
Or should have recently been wearing an evening gown.
Or to a funeral.
And it's just like it's gone now. Yeah, a funeral would be...
You don't want to be wearing...
Ideal.
You don't want to be wearing Marshmallow Ghost to a funeral.
It's Everyone will talk if you do. The inappropriate fragrance that she wore to that funeral. I will never get over it. How
Galen just goes,
dare you? Was that marshmallow perfume that she
lemons? Can you believe there were lemons in that
wore?
perfume?
I don't think so.
Well, how dare she?
Along those lines,
Okay.
We're coming to like one of my favorites here, which is the floral sheet ghost. Played by our friend Mabel and beautifully posed on a hillside.
Yeah, where did you
Walnut
shoot
Canyon.
this? Because it's gorgeous.
This is Walnut Canyon, right up the hill over here.
Mm.
I just happened to be walking there recently at sunset and saw how kind of creepy and desolate it looks, especially the house in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it looks like a castle, you know, but
House
like
on Haunted Hill.
a weirdly like suburban version. Anyway, the perfume is strawberry stained rose and peony with squished carnation and sugared pineapple.
I'm gonna love this. I know already.
Pineapple rose is like the funniest thing to me. I was so excited about the idea of it, and I keep wearing it because I can't get over it.
I have to say, like, wearing B-Pow has really helped me on days when I am trying to navigate my gender. And wearing sweeter, more feminine scents, like, is a good reminder of who I am.
Then you like find it.
And so this is, I knew before even smelling it, this is one of those.
Yeah, well, you can take one of these too. I have a prototype here that you can take with. In the bottle, it's wild. It's like this,
wild.
Like, the pineapple is there, but there's a spiciness to it.
A lot of pineapple.
That I think is from the carnation. Yeah. And the rose is like up in there, and I love rose perfumes, and I like some of the more like
Me too.
serious, like sinister ones. This is so hilarious. It's like joyful. Also, this is the sheet. I was impressed to see like the sheets themselves that we actually the individual sheets we picked. There's a dog in here. That's
JJ.
Don't worry, it's not a ghost. We could have pretended.
One day he will be.
Aw, we'll make a perfume for JJ.
JJ Ghosts.
So, I was excited to see that Elizabeth helped me pick out some of the sheets, and this one in particular, like she was definitely visually inspired by the sheets that we ended up running with, and I could smell it in this one, this particular ridiculous pink sheet. And then
it's very pink. That's definitely a way to describe this scent.
Yeah,
it's very pink.
It is, and if it was just like if the pineapple stayed that dominant on the skin, it would definitely be almost like a kind of a fruity cocktail.
The rose comes out on the skin
almost immediately. It's like this like really kind of like warm like tropical rose, which I just love, and it's just so peaceful and cheerful. And I've been wearing this a lot lately. It really gives me like the rose feeling, but it has that kind of like I don't know.
It's like relaxing and comforting.
It has like a kind of a saloon gal kind of like easygoing nature,
yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Untroubled, at least on the surface. For me, like after about an hour, I really get into a phase where I smell the carnation like a lot more, and it's very carnation heavy, which is fun because I'm like, oh, I don't remember putting that on. It's because it was hiding in plain sight the whole time, like a ghost.
Like a ghost.
Really, yeah. I just get a lot from this one.
I think it's also like looking at a pattern of a floral pattern. You're always going to discover new things about it. Too.
Yes, it's never just like one flower, right? There's always some like stray like leaf or element.
And it's like you also like looking at like a loud pattern like that is. I often am gravitated towards like the empty spaces too.
Yeah, like
the shapes that are made.
As a kid, were you like a big starer at like patterns and like stucco?
What is that called when you find faces and things? There's a word for it.
We'll let someone in the comments.
Yes,
because they'll know immediately.
I would constantly find faces and things. I would just sit there and stare at them. And if I was, good at art when I was a kid, I always wish I could draw them.
I liked maps a lot, and so I would like just stare at the wall, the texture, and like look at it like it was a map, and like try to, it was so boring without internet. It was the worst.
Hello, 90s kids.
I want all the young kids out there, like the younger viewers listening to this, to just be like, to like really think about it and think about the suffering that we have gone through. We had to,
We had to suffer. For you to suffer.
A new pattern was like a big day. Oh, new sheets. I know what I'll be looking at all morning.
I don't remember getting new sheets when I was a kid. I did have those old Star Wars sheets for a time.
I think I remember the ones.
Yeah, they were definitely hand-me-downs when I had them.
We were just slightly too young.
Yeah.
To have to be the first wave.
Yes, the first wave.
Moving on to our Paisley sheet ghost. We did a lot of research. If you read the products descriptions for these, we did a deep dive into talking about like the origins of some of these patterns and how they came to us.
Interesting.
Paisley Sheet Ghost features our friend Ted Burton, a friend of the lab who has helped out with many a thing, and refuses to appear on camera under any circumstances except for I was like, what if you were completely covered from head to toe? And that is how we got Ted in.
The elusive Ted Burton.
Right. And what I love about this is that Ted's apartment really imparts like a lot of personality to the idea of the Paisley Sheet Ghost. And the smell, Beth has never been to Ted's apartment to my knowledge, but like the smell of the notes really matches the experience.
Wait, so what is like a history, like a little tidbit of history of Paisley that you found?
Oh, okay. Well, an interesting thing is that Paisley was a pattern coming out of like cashmere that was like, these woven elaborate patterns that were like nature based with like weird little nature shapes that were molded into these kind of like a little cone that becomes like this kind of teardrop shape. But it became called Paisley because it was like a town, Paisley, Scotland, where they would rip off like all the because imported woven shawls from cashmere were expensive. But you could get like the locals would try to copy them, just like it's exactly what happens today. They were bootlegging this shit, and they were really leaned into it, and the pattern became known as Paisley because of Paisley, Scotland.
Oh.
So, and then weirdly, what I found interesting about the history of all these sheets and patterns is that like someone would be making something, someone else would try to copy it, and then some kind of technological innovation would come along, like printing. And then, like, people, in India or Persia or wherever were making these things would actually adopt the printing technique, because they were like, oh, we've been doing it this way, but now we can do it this way and also make stuff faster or whatever. And it just, like, moves all around the world. It was, like, a real, everyone just kind of, like, running with the best idea and whatever they thought would sell at the time. Really cool. And of course we have chosen to pay tribute to this illustrious pattern with a perfume that smells like weed smoke infused white sandalwood, wild oak moss, cannabis flower accord, hash resin accord, tonka bean, lavender bud, champaca flower, and tolu balsam.
Oh.
And Beth adds, please note this perfume contains no THC, no cannabis, no Mary Jane, no dubage, no squidgy black, no nothing. Get thee to a dispensary. Go.
Squidgy black.
Squidgy black.
That is a great drag queen name.
Squidgy black.
This is another one
House of Black.
The House of Black. There is that. Yeah, there's Black House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Victoria Elizabeth.
This smells exactly like Paisley.
It's also one that is a little different in the bottle than it is on the skin. Super resinous, super weedy. I've said in the past I have a hard time detecting the weed in some of the B-Pal blends. Not this one.
It's a little bit more masculine than the others.
Soft and crumbly. Like you've got the incense going on, the balsam, the champaca makes it like, soft and gentle. But it also has a bit of that kind of like nose scorch.
This reminds me of my grandpa.
Interesting.
Like, no, he always smelled very good, and he always had the latest perfume on, and he was always dressed really nicely, and he wore paisley ties all the time.
It definitely has a kind of like an earthy like, gentility to it, because it's got some of these kind of the whimsical notes, like it's got like a light floral to it. The incense is kind of there. It has like a kind of a gentlemanly quality.
It's like masculine and comforting.
And it's pulled out of the entirely masculine to me by things like the balsam, which I know ends up in
Yeah,
all the
it's not
masculine
like
blends, but
it's not entirely masculine.
It's got some like goopy resin happening, and then this kind of crumbly, powdery situation that makes it kind of like weirdly romantic.
It's definitely not toxic masculinity.
This smells to me like travel. Like there's like a travel quality to it, you know, like well worn everything.
Like getting on the train, we're going to sell some Tupperware.
We're going to Balsam Town.
I don't know. No, it wasn't Tupperware. It was like
I love that you would get on the train to go sell Tupperware.
We're getting on the train. We're going to sell some leather goods.
You can have a Tupperware party on the train on your way to the Tupperware party. That's the magic
of Tupperware. Burp. Somebody will get that.
There's just like so in the bottle there like I was worried it was gonna be really dank and goopy, like scraping out the pipe, and then it really goes airborne, and there's kind of like poofy clouds.
Yeah, it's the cloud. Yeah.
It's cloudy. There's
the
just
clouds turning into teardrops of paisley.
Yeah, just like, you know, little drifts of smoke. It's just I don't know why it just strikes me as weirdly romantic. I don't know. I am damaged.
I'll be back on Monday, Betty.
and then it never happens.
It never happens.
It becomes a Paisley sheet ghost.
I promise. And then she lived her life as a maiden. For the rest.
And then she became the cognac-stained sheet ghost,
which is coming up next.
Right. I want to hang out here. This is not like something I think I would normally wear, but I have returned to it a few times.
I like this a lot.
Yeah. I was going to ask you between like the weed perfume and the cognac perfume, how you feel like perfumes like these like interact with like somebody's like sobriety. You know, like if people are sober, some people I know like if they are sober don't wear scents that remind them of things, you know, that they would like otherwise consciously avoid.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never really a big weed smoker, so like this doesn't. Plus, it's yeah, I don't really get that for myself. I can't speak for everyone, but
it's been interesting. I've been kind of everyone has like weird different relationships with particular notes, you know. Like the cognac one is the last one on the trip. This photo was taken out by the Salton Sea in a little desert shack town called Bombay Beach, which we love to go to.
Ooh, I've heard of this.
And it was taken at sunset, and my friend Tina Hyland, who's been on before, she was the one where her bird had chewed off all the labels on her bee pal, and we tried to guess them from the bottle to see if we could. One of the strangest installments of our pandemic perfume series.
Wow.
And she's also been here to read poetry with us in the past. So she came and served as cognac-stained sheet ghost. I wanted the idea of like a debaucherous ghost because there's, you know, like the party aspect of Halloween. And also, I personally love the Lab's cognac note, and I'm always curious to see what it turns up. I'm not like a cognac drinker. I've just noticed how I tend to like the perfume. So selfishly, I was like, what if we did this? The perfumer has created this incredible concoction that is a vanilla-infused balsam, white cognac, and tumbleweeds. Which, again, I love that she went from, like, inspired by the arena which the photo was taken in. Without further ado, here is our cognac-stained sheet ghost. Oh. This one gives me feelings.
Feelings?
I told my friend, someone asked what this smells like, and I said it smells like...
She's sweet and troubled.
Stevie Nicks' tour bus. That's what I'm getting from it. There's something really elegant about it. The cognac smell has this, like, I don't know, it's like a beautifully, like refined... kind of old-fashioned smell, but between the linen and then the tumbleweeds, there's something about it that is just very carefree, you know? It's similar in some ways to, has overlap with traditional sheet ghost.
It's relaxing for sure in that way.
It's a little more perfumey. That cognac really gives it like a...
These are all very comforting in a different way.
Right. It's true.
I say get the whole set.
Oh, I really hope you will. You never know what ghost you're going to need to be from one day to the next.
Yeah, it's like truly like day of the week sheet ghost.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to just like pull off a sheet and then there's another sheet under and then another and then another and you're like, who's under there?
Reveal.
5 sheets deep.
Actually, no one.
5 sheets to the wind.
Oh my god, we need to like make a version of this like when we did Lab Rat where it was all mixed together. I want to make a version where it's all of these mixed in one bottle called 5 Sheets to the Wind.
Yes. You heard it here.
Yeah. I'll at least try it. I'll do a squirt. I'll make a one bottle and I'll smell it and tell you what it's like later. Yeah, this is just like...
I think your description was spot on, Stevie Nicks' tour bus.
There's something, like, it's like feminine in a way that I can't really describe. I don't know what that tumbleweed scent is, but there's something kind of dry and maybe like a little salty and herbaceous about it. It just smells like traveling. I'm just like hearing the songs and the window is down and my hair and scarves are flapping.
Gypsy. We can still say that, right?
I think I'm not allowed to tell you. I'm not the authority. I think you're supposed to sing G-slur. G-slur is actually for ghost because it's unkind and stigmatizing against the undead.
What else?
There's just like, it's like vaporous. There's like a vaporous quality, which reminds me of, I think it would layer well with traditional because it has that own kind of like vaporous, like linen-y frankincense quality. And this is vaporous in literally the vapor coming off of the booze.
I wouldn't say that this would be triggering for someone that is an alcoholic.
Maybe if cognac was specifically their jam.
Maybe. I was never a cognac person.
You know who is, and I've been saving this story for forever, and I might have even told it on the show, but in Ronnie Spector's book, Be My Baby, Ronnie Spector from the Ronettes, she has like this, she had a drinking problem for a while, and she was like very, very sad, as you would be if you had been married to Phil Spector for any amount of time. But there was a night where she drank herself to sleep drinking cognac, and it spilled in her bed without her realizing it, and she woke up in the middle of the night and lit a cigarette, and her pillowcase had been soaked in cognac, and her hair just like went up in flames like one big poof.
No.
And burned all of her hair off in a tragic cognac fire. For emphasis, I'm just like, yeah, and then, I mean, you know, her hair was her glory. It was like her whole thing. Like, look at the Ronettes. And she, had to struggle with growing her hair back. And, you know, she put a positive spin on it in the book and said that the whole incident was God's way of reminding her that everything grows back.
Well,
that's a happier take on it than I probably would have been left with. But this is why I read these memoirs, because, like, you need to know there's precedent for these kinds of incidents. Like, a lot can happen real quick. That's my takeaway. Cognac isn't a particularly flammable spirit.
I'm distracted now by the Monster Mash cereal on your counter.
Oh, do you want some?
Maybe. Is it all the Monster cereals
Go get
together?
It. Yeah, they did a twist on it because I read an oral history of Monster cereal this week, and they said that some people have done mashups like this in the past, like fans have done it, and the cereals all mixed together actually does not taste that great.
No,
they
it's
did
more,
it,
and it's more fruit-based. Count Chocula is represented in the marshmallow.
as a marshmallow, not as a flavor.
No, like so there's no chocolatey component.
Who's that guy?
That's Fruit Brute.
Fruit Brute? Where'd he come from?
So Fruit Brute was later on and like lesser, you know, and also ran.
Well, they needed somebody to play drums.
Yummy Mummy is
Yummy
like
Mummy.
tooching it out.
Tooching. I love Frankenberry.
Yeah. Canonically non-binary Frankenberry.
Really?
I'm just guessing.
Sure.
It's in the oral history.
It's in the oral history. Frankenberry talks about it at length.
He's definitely a floral sheet ghost.
So,
yeah.
What was your favorite sheet ghost perfume?
I mean, I generally like them all in different ways. I think...
You've been picking the marshmallows out of these.
I have not.
I don't believe you.
I really
You'll
haven't.
say anything on camera.
I think traditional sheet ghost
I really have not.
and cognac-stained sheet ghost are my favorite.
Every time
I'm a little bit biased, but
oh yeah, you take the cereal. I've been really struggling with this because it really has been about mood.
Yeah.
Because I return to like some of them, but then I go like the other day when I was at the lab and I just wore the floral one and I was like, this is it, this is my favorite. And I've had that experience with pretty much all of them. Not so much the black satin, only because of personal fragrance preferences. However, I have returned to it to give it a chance multiple times, and each time it has really impressed me. So I don't know if I could pick out a favorite. I just love the collection so much, and that doesn't happen to me what I like about the smaller collections, when there's only 5, as opposed to like 20. With a 20 perfume collection, you really do wind up having to just pick out the couple that you really love the most. And with a 5 perfume collection, I feel like I'm allowed to fall in love with all of them.
They're all very good.
Just very nice. And then they're just going to live in a little family on my dresser. And I can summon them as needed with my like a perfume Ouija board.
Insert ghost here.
Which ghost are you today? I would love to do this one again, although I don't know how many other sheets we could have done, like a stripy sheet.
Gingham sheet.
Well, that gets us through Freak in the Sheets. We will be back recording this week sometime with, I don't even know who or how or when, but with some of these others I really want to get to into the Weenies. We have been on sabbatical a bit. We've fallen behind in our shooting schedule. But I'm very grateful to have actual Freak in the Sheets talent here on the set today. You really put in a lot of work for 5 minutes.
I did.
The commitment was so palpable.
I barely put on fishnets for this.
That's the magic, again, of the sheet ghost. It's
Yeah.
like the fishnets don't even have to be pulled up over the knees.
Nope. And they weren't.
Well, that's all for now. Hi and love from the lab. We are shipping out Weenies as fast as possible. And who else do you know that can say that? I've lost it. All right. Have a great 2nd October, everyone. Bye.
2nd October.
Yeah, we're in the extension.
I love that.
It's been extended.
Shut it off. Get out of here.